right, welcome back. Another fine morning, another good conversation about boxing. Some good stuff, interesting stuff happened over since yesterday, so we'll get to that. But let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. Adrien Vent in the building says, salute Fannon. Always appreciate the gems you drop. Thank you, sir. Thank you for always coming by early and saying what's up. Short Twin said, I'm over Fury Gate. He just needs to fight Joshua and call it a day. Well, that makes one of us. I'm not over it until the guy's out of boxing. Sorry. Mad Max in the building. What's going on with you, sir? B&B Boxing News. What's happening with you? Reggie Locke. Salute to you. Everything's good, man. Just enjoying this. Just enjoying some of the news that came out in boxing. We got Gervonta Davis's next opponent is most likely or rumored to be who that's rumored to be. We got Terence Crawford's giving some good news. Good news from Terence Crawford's camp. I can tell you, man, that sounds good to say. And then, of course, you know, Tyson Fury out here running around either reckless as hell or lying or both. I vote for both. Solito, Viva Tu Vida says, salute Martin and salute to the chat. Ready for this boxing conversation with the best in the business. Fannon, Fannon, the real Don. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Rick Blackwell in the building. What's going on with you, sir? How are you this morning? And salute to you, Treyboy89. Salute to you. MD, the MD 2020 bandit says, saludos Fanana y Familia. Hey, yes, sir. Saludos to you and everybody in the El or La. Don't speak Spanish, but Familia. All right, Slugfest comes with the question. Fair enough. Boots or Jermell Charlo at 154, who wins? Right now, Jermell Charlo, I would lean towards him because Jermell Charlo is a more experienced fighter. Jermell Charlo is a big dude, and that's a weight class up from him, so I can't say that Boots right now is going to beat a guy that's got all four, that looks like he's going to get all four belts. So, you know, I would say right now I'd have to lean towards Jermell Charlo because Jermell Charlo ain't no punk. That's a big boy. Now, if you want to ask me who in Boots weight class is going to beat him, 147. I think the only person that's going to have a chance to beat him is Errol Spence Jr. I think everybody else in that weight class gets, including Terence Crawford, gets beat by Boots. Well, I give Terence Crawford the same respect that I give Jermell Charlo and say, you know, I'd like to see Boots in a couple more fights. But as far as like Yordanis Ugas or Keith or Sean Porter be a really tough fight that I think that he'll win. Danny Garcia is a fight that I think he'll win. Keith Thurman, I think he wins. So, you know how it goes. Oh, yeah, so I did answer that. Oh, fucking motherfucker. Man, this is the second day in a row I have done this dumb shit. Tomorrow I will not do this. Can you guys hear me better? Okay, Trey boy, I got it. Okay, I turned it up. See, I said, I think Fury is intentionally trying to be fired from boxing. I got money on that. I mean, he can't get fired from boxing. You know, that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. But what he's definitely doing is completely trampling on. He's completely trampling on the reputations of anybody that defends him. At this point in time, seeing him out at a car dealership and seeing him out at a what do you call it? At a casino, it's just reprehensible, man. It's reprehensible. The real McCoy said, Fanana Don, what's hoodie hood? Everything's chilling. Sitting here talking about, we're going to talk about three subjects today. Gervonta Tank Davis and him fighting Mario Barrios. CRB1, what's good in there? But look, man, hit me with some questions today, man. I'm answering any questions this morning. And because I'm sure as you answer the questions, the subject's going to come up. So I'm looking for the first question to answer in the comment section. If you put it in a super chat, you're going to get your answer. I'm going to get to the answer all the quicker. But if you don't feel like super chatting, that's fine. Just put your questions in the comment section, and then I'll answer your questions. Even if you're a troll, especially if you're a troll, I would guarantee that I'm going to answer your question. Now, you may not like the answer that you get, but I'm definitely going to give it to you. Stephen Taylor, man, salute to you, man. What's good with you, man? I hope all is well with you. Stephen Taylor said, how do you see Spence versus Pacquiao playing out? Well, honestly, man, I see it being a dominant performance for Errol Spence Jr. And I think that maybe the first 3 or 4 rounds, Errol's going to come out and he's going to be applying pressure to Manny. And Manny's going to be fighting on the back foot, moving in and out, looking for opportunities to get inside on him. But what I really think is that southpaw matchup is an advantage for Errol Spence, because you can use I'll get that. Okay, Spence Manning, I'll tell you. My prediction is Errol Spence Jr. by stoppage. That's how I think he's going to win. I think that they're going to throw the towel in on him because he's going to start. I think that that orthodox, the southpaw and southpaw matchup really is to the advantage of Errol Spence Jr. because one of the biggest weapons for Manny Pacquiao is that straight left hand. Because that straight left hand, he's so explosive with that straight left hand. And I don't care what people say about how experienced he is. He circles in the direction from the southpaw stance. He's circling in a direction where he's constantly trying to get you in position to hit you with his straight left hand. But with Errol Spence Jr. having his right jab in front of that front left hand, I don't see how he's going to be able to hop in on him like that. So I got to stop. I think I've got a late round. Actually, I've got Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, I get Manny Pacquiao getting knocked out because Manny Pacquiao is going to get hit with something. And one thing that you know about Manny Pacquiao doesn't have a very good chin. I think that is pretty well established that Manny Pacquiao has that button. You can touch that button and get him up out of there, man. Frank Sparty, man, what's going on, Frank? Man, I ain't seen you in a minute, man. What's good with you? He said, how long can Fury run from defending that belt before he's legally held responsible to arbitration? Is it longer than the WBC will let him hold it? No, I believe the date for that, Frank, is September. My understanding is it's the second week of September is the longest that he has, and that the date right past it is I think they said they're going to try to make it for the fight for the first week of October or something like that. But that is them acquiescing because their fight is supposed to take place before September 16th. And is it longer than the WBC will let him hold it? No, the WBC ain't going to do nothing. I doubt very much that the WBC is going to either strip Tyson Fury, which would basically be stealing what Deontay Wilder negotiated with Tyson Fury for, and the whole subject matter of that arbitration, if they were to strip him. So I don't think that they're going to get stripped. Do you think Fury's COVID-19 claims will be investigated by the ENC? I don't know what that is, ENCE. I don't know what the ENCE is, but look, his COVID claims have already been investigated, and he's lying his ass off because he's out running around at car dealerships taking pictures, like taking boxing, you take the pictures with your showing your fists. He's doing that with car dealers. He's doing that in a casino, which to me just tells you that people are walking around asking him, hey, Tyson. He's walking around in public. Hey, Tyson, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, sure. Here's a picture. Yeah, take a picture. And the dummy doesn't think it's going to get, or doesn't think about the fact that it's going to get out. But I don't think anybody's really believing that he has COVID anyway. I think that they just take his lies like, well, it's Tyson Fury. Can't point out his lies, Name someone who didn't have a fight that was able to fight Tank. Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. doesn't have a fight right now. I know that they're talking about a fight with Leo Santa Cruz, but Gary Russell doesn't have a fight right now. Gervonta can ask for that fight, but Gervonta's not going to ask for that fight because Gervonta is going to look bad in that fight. I don't think that. Daniel Gallimore, man, shout out to you, man. He said, Brother Martin, top of the morning, good to see you. Thank you, sir. And by the way, I would like to thank everybody that has been really positive, because I did take some time off from the channel. And thank you to everybody that came back and was very, very positive, including Azan Azad. Look, Azan Azad, on and off. Hey, Mr. On, Mr. Off. I can be a big dosser, but what the fuck does that have to do with Tyson Fury being a big ass liar? Huh? I mean, dude, Tyson Fury is a lying cat. He's a lying sack of shit, and you know that he's a lying sack of shit. Everybody knows that he's a lying sack of shit. It's almost cliche to be calling him a lying sack of shit. And how much it's changed since everybody was talking about people were crazy because they were talking about him having cheated. You know the saying, scratch a lie, find a thief. Scratch a lie, find a thief. Oh, you got to make sure that you say some shit in a way. My apologies. Don't time him out. Yeah, I messed that up. Sorry, man. That's why I'm trying to be more positive. Azan Azid. And I didn't make fun of you. Too bad, did I? If I did, forgive me. Daniel Gallimore in that super chat, man. Thank you so much for the support, man. And my man, Craig Stern in the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, look, dude, cats be ruthless in the comment section, but it is what it is, man. There's a lot of trolls in the world, and I'm really trying to stay positive, man. I'm not trying to get into anything where I get mad or anything like that. How high is this guy? Not at all. I'm not high at all. Not a lick. What you're looking at is you're looking at my pretty eyes. I've got my slanty eyes, man. The shit that the women love. But that doesn't mean I'm high just because my eye, you know what I'm saying? Get on out of here, man. He said, I feel you. Yes. He said, oh, nobody walks in your shoes. Hey, man. Everybody walks in their own. Yeah, I'll say fuck them, but it is what it is. Hey, Maurice Ingram said, what's up, good brother Fannon? Any thoughts on Kwame Brown? Yes. I love Kwame Brown. I listen to his show. As much as I can listen to his show, but I love the fact that he's got that thing called bust life. Because, dude, they talk about that dude being a bust when he had like a 12-year career or something, and went through periods of time when, dude, he was playing really well. The kid came out of high school, dog, and people jumped all on that dude. Yeah, man, I like him a lot, dude. He's got a really great show. And on top of it, oh, hell yeah, man. He said every YouTube channel needs a break now and then. Yeah, man. I went 5 hardcore years. That's what I did. This time around, I'm going to make sure that I do live streams Tuesday through Sunday, because I like to do them every day, but I know now with this gray beard that there's been a lot of battles behind this gray. You know what I mean? Been a lot of battles. So I need to rest it and make sure everything is straight. Damon Smith said, salute Martin. Nobody likes, and thank you guys for your questions. It makes the live stream go much easier. I don't feel like I got to keep going and going and going without your interaction. So please ask me questions. It's greatly appreciated. Salute Martin. Nobody likes Tyson Fury. He doesn't have any real fans. It's only Wilder haters that support him. Fury is a propaganda tool, without a doubt. You know what Fury is? Fury is the quintessential. He is the quintessential. I see you, Judah Ben Israel. He's the quintessential great white hope. They're hoping That if he gets a championship, then people are going to flock behind him, and he's going to be, a big popular heavyweight. It's just never going to happen, dude. Tyson Fury is never going to be Mike Tyson. He's never going to be. First of all, he doesn't knock anybody out. So it's not going to be that case. Muhammad Ali got very popular because he was calling the rounds that he was knocking people out in. Mike Tyson got very, very popular because he was knocking everybody out in the first round, right? And that's when he blew up like that, because he was knocking everybody out in the first round. Evander Holyfield got big because he was just opposed to Mike Tyson, but he was still knocking people out, So it's just, no, Tyson Fury is never going to be a popular heavyweight because Tyson Fury is boring to watch. And it's a lot of, seriously, dude, who wants to watch your champion do this shit? The best thing about Tyson Fury is his feints and his height. Because the guy is sitting up there 6'9", right? He's 6'9", fighting a guy that is almost 5 inches shorter than him, and he's leaning away from him because the guy is swinging at his head. How about the dude go hit him in the body? How about you hit him in the body? It's ridiculous, man. Maurice Ingram said, yeah, me too. Would love to see Kwame Brown and Deontay Wilder have a sit-down chat. Yeah, dude, I love that show, man. Dude, I just think highly of him because of what kind of person he is and how his attitude. I watched the show that he did the other day, and he lets people come on his show, and he shares his platform with people, and listens to what they have to say and has conversations with them. Just, seems like a really, really good dude, man. Seems like a real good dude. I like him. Fury is the dosser. Yeah, dude, if it ain't. Oh, okay, that's up. Even Evan Tobler III said, good morning, brothers. Strength coach for Regis Prograis. That's what's up. Fitness by Totaler. Hey, you got a website? Even if you got one, put it in the chat. What's your take on Mikey Garcia versus Regis Prograis? I got Regis Prograis in that fight because Regis Prograis, I think, has been fighting better competition. He's more active, but I love it. It's a real good close fight. I think that it'll sell very, very well. And yeah, I like it a lot. Those guys are roughly the same size. Mikey Garcia is really a 140-pounder. Regis Prograis is a 140-pounder. If Regis is able to beat Mikey Garcia, it does a lot for his career, and it propels him towards shots at the 140-pound title. I like it a lot, and I think that it's a really rough fight for Mikey Garcia. The thing that I think that is that Regis is going to have to watch is he's going to have to be a little bit more defensively responsible with Mikey Garcia, because Mikey Garcia's jab straight right hand ain't no joke. He'll knock your block. He'll knock your block sideways with that straight right hand. But pretty much, he's a 1-2 fighter. Jab, straight right hand, followed by the left hook. May go to the body every once in a while, but they're both very, very tough fighters. Both nice guys. I certainly hope that they take the fight. That's my take on it. I see my man Southern T Boxing. Hey, congratulations to Southern T Boxing, who's over the 1,000, man. So good job, man. Let me see. Oh, did I miss a super chat? Hold on. There we go. Oh yeah, hold on. Here you go. Gilmano Life. Bro, I just posted 2 posts about the GWH. GWH. What is GWH? ESPN and Top Rank O Media isn't saying anything. What is Man, you young cats with these acronyms, dog. I'm telling you, I'm a slow poke when it comes with them acronyms. You got to put that shit in the chat, dog. But about what is that? But I'm going to assume that it got something to do with Tyson Fury being out there running around, and say, absolutely, dude, they're not going to report anything negative about an ESPN fighter. Because most of the news comes from ESPN or comes from writers with the Boxing Writers Association of America. It's the Boxing Writers Association of America that's not going to do things to upset the apple cart for their members that get paid by these promoters. It's that simple. Trey Boy, much love in that super chat. He said, with Arrow almost out of 147, what fights at 154 would like to see when he moves up? Immediately, I want to see Erislandy Lara. Immediately, I want to see Errol Spence Jr. versus Erislandy Lara. If he's still fighting up there, I think he might have moved to 160, but I would love to see him fight Erislandy Lara, dude, because Erislandy Lara is a slick, tough fighter that would definitely make a very, very interesting fight with Errol Spence Jr. Also, I like the Erickson Lubin fight. Him is Southpaw, Erickson Lubin, Errol Spence. Both of them were really celebrated amateurs at the same time. You know, Erickson Lubin is a very, very good fighter, but I would love to see him fight Erickson Lubin. I would love to see him fight Jared Hurd, because you know Jared Hurd is coming forward and gonna be eating them shots. So I'd like to see him fight Jared Hurd. Who else would I like to see him fight? I'd love to see him fight Jaime Munguia and knock Jaime Munguia the fuck out. I would like that. Man, there's a lot of fights at that weight class. Hey, why not let him? Oh, you know what would be a fun fight? Have him fight Jason Rosario, and have him fight Jason Rosario so he can knock Jason Rosario out in the very first round with a body shot, because Jason Rosario cannot take body shots. But the thing about Arrow moving to 154 that I would be interested to see is I want to see how strong he is, because I have a suspicion that he's going to be a lot stronger at 154 than he is at 147, and because making that weight for him has him look very, very drained. He doesn't look, you know what I mean? He doesn't look like he's all the way full, you know, like his muscles are full. He looks kind of drained. Looks kind of drained at 147, and he's been making 147 for several years now, you know, so that's kind of where I am with that. Spence won't beat Lara or Hurd. Man, he'll beat both. Lara's old. We're not talking about the old Lara. We're talking about the Lara. We're talking about the Erislandy Lara right now. Errol Spence Jr. is going to beat Erislandy Lara, and he's definitely going to beat Jared Hurd. But even Evan Toddler, I like how you say that. So that brings mystery to the fight. I'm telling you. But Jared Hurd is definitely going to get beat. Definitely going to get, because he comes in like this. If he ain't, he comes in with his chin hanging out there. Yeah, exactly. He's a Fannon. You want to see him knock these guys out? Hell yeah. Dog, why wouldn't I want to see Jeremy Avery? Why wouldn't I? And make sure you guys keep your questions coming, by the way, too, because I'm loving answering the questions. It makes the conversation, it makes it fun for me, because you guys get me thinking. Because some of the questions that you're asking, I haven't thought of. So, yeah, her gonna get the. Did he lose to Arias? Did he lose a fight that I didn't see? Oh God, please tell me no. Hold on. Man, he lost to Luis Arias. If he lost to Luis Arias, yeah, he's got 2 L's. Split decision loss. Yeah, it's a wrap. He lost to Luis Arias. I'm sorry, I didn't even see that fight. He lost, but I'd still like to see that fight. I'd still like to see that fight. Yeah, you can only get so far taking shots straight to the face and not ducking. You know what I mean? You can only go so far with that, man. You know? He said, oh man, no. Judah Ben Israel, yo Fannon, if I will always spare a couple minutes, man. You know what my email address is? Hey, message me on Twitter. Message me on Twitter, Judah Ben Israel, for real. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. Hurd is the black Bam. Man, don't say that. I love Bam Bam Rios, man. I love Bam Bam Rios, dude. That was one of my favorite fighters, Bam Bam Rios. He said, Hurd is a black Brandon Rios. He's punch drunk. Yeah, dude, you can only walk through so many times. People are like, yeah. Just straight to your grill, too. And eating them. Hell no. Hey, man, you know one only thing that I'm going to ever ask you not to do, Chris Dugaby. My name is Martin. Please call me Martin. Don't call me Marty. I'd appreciate that because, my name ain't Marty. My name is Martin. I shared with you my name. So please use Martin. My name is not Marty. I don't like the name Marty. But now I just set myself up for a whole bunch of people calling me Marty to try to irritate me. It is what it is. Aziz, let me get back to my man, Anan Azad. He said, Tank has a fear of the black man. Everyone does. It's just a fact that greatest boxers have always been black. We dominate and we win and we take over. Boxing is a black man's world. Look. Say your name is OG. That's all right. I'll take OG. OG is a compliment. Look, man. I don't think Tank is afraid of anybody that is around his same size. I don't think that he's afraid, dude. The dude is a fighter. What I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. doesn't want him to lose. And whenever you get in there with you get in with fighters that are creative, a creative fighter is a problem for you. You know what I mean? A fighter that is a robot is predictable, is easier to beat than somebody that is creative. Black fighters tend to be kind of creative, thinking on the fly, doing different things, mixing stuff up. You know what I mean? But the person I know he doesn't want to fight is Gary Russell Jr., and I'm pushing that as far as I can. Trey Boy, thank you guys. Continue with the questions, man. Tank versus Gary Russell Jr. would be like Floyd versus Judah. Very competitive fight. I think it would help Tank grow. I agree with that, except for it'd be more like Floyd and it's the exact opposite. It would be like Floyd versus Aaron Pryor, but Aaron Pryor would be Tank, and Floyd would be Gary Russell, because I think Gary Russell is a more skilled fighter than Gervonta Tank Davis. But I think Gervonta has a lot of skill, but at the same time, he can really crack, and he can be very aggressive when it's time to be aggressive. And with a smaller fighter, I definitely think he's going to be aggressive. Kamal Oz said Floyd has a no black fighters policy for Tank. I mean, that's clear. Or should I say, what do you mean Philly's not? I'm telling you, Gary Russell Jr. is more skilled than Tank. That is, as far as their technical skills, Gary Russell Jr. is the better fighter, man. And honestly, dude, I don't even think it's close, because Gervonta Tank Davis has to get in and out of range. Gary Russell Jr. will stay in range, and you still can't hit that dude. It's very hard to hit Gary Russell while he's in range. The difference between Gary Russell and Tank is that Tank has got more power. And that's it. And there, as a result, Gary tends to go the distance with fighters that Tank would have knocked out. However, if Gary goes the distance with Tank, Gary's going to beat Tank. That's how I see. Camille Oz, much love in that super chat, man. And y'all keep the questions coming up, man. He says, shame on Mr. Gary Russell Jr. Shame that Mr. Gary Russell Jr. hasn't fought Tank. It is, but you know what he's going to do? I do believe, my understanding is that he's going to get, that more than likely they're working on that Leo Santa Cruz fight. And so it looks like, Gary might start getting more fights and getting better fights. So hopefully that'll be the case, because Gary is just an excellent fighter, dude. Phil's 821 said, I respect your opinion, but nah, that's fair enough. I respect your opinion as well. People can disagree. I'm not the end all and be all, but I'm going to tell you what, I ain't wrong a lot, and I'm telling you right here, no. That is a bad matchup, dog. I'm telling you, that is a bad matchup. Gary Russell Jr. is a really bad matchup for a lot of people. Nah, Gary's not too small for Tank. They're the same size. Tank is just thicker. Tank is thicker. Gary and Tank are about like this. That mean neither one. Tank is short. Dude, look at how short Tank is when he fought Jose Pedraza. He's way shorter than those dudes, man. But I'll tell you what Tank is. Tank is an athlete out this fucking world, man. Like, that is a serious athlete. Like, I can't say that. I don't know if Gary Russell Jr. is a better athlete than Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis has crazy hand speed. He's got crazy foot speed, and it can clearly just stay out of range because his foot speed is so nice. I mean, within 3 steps, that dude is crazy explosive. Crazy explosive. Quintoni Davis said, I can't believe Fury was taking pictures with fans at the casino, but he could not apologize to his fans for his postponement. Dude, he's just a lying sack of shit. Nobody believes that stuff, man. Nobody. The dude got knocked out in sparring and wanted a do-over. That's Tyson Fury right there. Just reckless with his word. And seriously, do you really believe that Tyson Fury is actually going to be fighting Deontay Wilder in October? I'm telling you, he's going to get another case of COVID. My dog ate my homework. Hold on. Why would you cough because your dog ate your homework? Just in case you didn't believe one of the lies. I'm sick and my dog ate my homework. Then he's going to slip and sprain his ankle. After that, oh, my neck. Some crap like that. Dude is terrible. Hit me up with them questions, though. Oh, character great? Gary's not too small? No. Gervonta Tank Davis is a 130-pounder, is a tweener between 130 and 135. And Gary Russell Jr. said he feels like he could comfortably go all the way up to 135. They're roughly the same size. Gary started at 126. Tank started at 130, but the 130 is his thickness and his muscularity. So he can make 130. He can make 135 easy. Maurice Ingram said, "Hey, Fannon, switching lanes a bit. Does Claressa Shields continue in MMA, or come on, sis, don't press your luck?" I don't know, man. I think that she can do it if she wants to do it. Women's boxing is. I mean, it's hard to make money in women's boxing. Women's boxing is, you don't get paid like you get paid in men. And women's MMA, my understanding is that they make more money in MMA than they make in boxing. So, she's got to take her talents where she can make her money. And one thing she can do for sure is strike. So she's halfway there because on her feet she's got great footwork. And she's a conditioned fighter. She just needs to learn how to do the takedowns and fight on the ground, defend on the ground, and shoot. She's probably smart for her to do that, because if she can really fight in the UFC and get in front of those big crowds and really gets herself all the way up, maybe take her a few years, but it's worth it, especially since really she can probably beat every female boxer without a lot of, who's going to beat Claressa Shields in women's boxing right now? I don't think that there's anybody, The so-called female great won't rematch Haney Gabriels. It would be nice to see her take that rematch. But, as far as making the money, this is easy. But as far as making the money, going to the MMA just makes sense for her. A-side boxing. Fannon, what advice would you give Andrade to force some of these guys to fight? To go sign with Al Heyman, get away from Eddie Hearn and DAZN because they had it. He had what he wanted, and they didn't give it to him. Seriously, that's not even Boo Boo Andrade's fault. That is why you don't do business with Eddie Hearn and DAZN. Canelo Alvarez had won 3 belts. And they were so interested in having Canelo fight Gennady Golovkin that they refused to make the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Demetrius Andrade for undisputed. It's not Canelo. It was DAZN, Eddie Hearn and DAZN that chose not to give Demetrius Andrade that Canelo Alvarez fight. And right then, dude, it's just like I think Demetrius Andrade should get out of there, and I think he should go to Al Haymon. Really. Honestly, dude, I think that all these black fighters need to go to Al Haymon and go to the PBC, because these other guys they're not gonna represent them the way that they're gonna. And I'm sure that there's a lot of politics over there in the PBC as well. But you can't really find a lot of guys that are not getting fights. Errol Spence Jr. is getting fights. Sean Porter's getting fights. Keith Thurman's getting fights. If Demetrius Andrade takes that WBO belt over there, and he stands in a good way to get fights, because there's going to be a bunch of guys that are at 135 pounds, 147 pounds that are moving up, right? And he's got or at 154 pounds that is going to be moving up. Jermell Charlo is going to be moving up, and that's one of the major belts. And then that means the PBC would have the WBC belt and the WBO belt. That's a good selling point for Al Haymon. I think he need to go to the PBC. That's me. Kamal Oz said Mr. Gary Russell Jr. versus Tank needs no build-up, both from the DMV with PBC and accomplished. Speed versus elite skill versus power and timing needs to happen ASAP. Dude, that is one of the best fights you can make in boxing. Is Gary Russell Jr. versus Gervonta Tank Davis. In my opinion, it is one of the best fights that can be made in boxing. It is that intriguing. It's a little man fight, dude. So hopefully they'll get to the point where they can do that. But my understanding is that Gary looks like he because Leo Santa Cruz called him out. Gary Russell Jr. said that he was open to the Leo Santa Cruz fight. So maybe what that'll do is have these guys, if they fight a common opponent, and it looks like there may be another common opponent too, because Gary Russell Jr. fought Jojo Diaz, and Tank looks like, or at least the rumors are, that he's going to be fighting Jojo Diaz as well. And whoever kept asking me to only say one name, dude, I'm not doing that crap. It's not how I talk. I don't say one name unless I actually know the dude. So I can say Gary because I know Gary, but I'm not about to say, well, yeah, Tank. I'll say Tank. Whatever. Anyway, keep it moving. Let me see more. Much love in that super chat too. Thank you so much. Gary should fight Leo first. It looks like that. Oh, man. Martin, do you think AB should retire now? No, I do not think he should retire now. I think he should fight again. One more fight. I think I personally want to see this for Adrien Broner. I want Adrien Broner to get 3 easy-ass fights where he is guaranteed to knock somebody's head off, right? Give him 3 easy fights and let him have a go-away party. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to have, a world beater in every fight that the guy fights, man. That's what I think. Why doesn't Shields fight Marshall? Because she don't want to. Obviously. And there's not enough money in it. And it's not, if that's what she thinks, I don't know why she's not going to fight her. Quite honestly, dog, I don't pay a lot of attention to Claressa Shields. I don't. I pay attention majority to men's boxing. And when Cecilia Brækhus lost, it kind of lost a lot of luster for me, because I thought that those two were going to match up in a fight that would be a terrific fight. But shoot, she lost. And I do believe she lost twice to Jessica McCaskill. So maybe she can fight Jessica McCaskill. That's what I would think. But, Hannah Gabriels definitely deserves a rematch if she's going to do it. Eddie. What is that? Oh, you guys weren't saying that to me. Where did it go? How far you think Adrien Broner can make it at 140? I think Adrien Broner is no longer competing for world championships. I don't think that he's going to beat Regis Prograis is going to beat him. Mikey Garcia already beat him. Josh Taylor would beat him. I don't think that Adrien Broner should be fighting to really try to look to win championships, unless somehow there's some vacant belt that he can fight for, and he fights for a vacant belt and beats somebody that's not necessarily a very good fighter. But I don't think Adrien Broner is in that world championship mix anymore. But that doesn't mean that the guy can't fight, because he's definitely still a very entertaining fighter. He's an entertaining personality, and I want to see the guy do well. And most importantly, I want to see him get the money so that he can, whatever financial issues that he has, he can straighten those things out. But hell yeah. Do I agree that Gary Antoine Russell is a problem at 140? Yes, I do. Because my understanding is that he gave a really good run to Adrien Ennis in the amateurs. So if you can go tit for tat with Adrien Ennis, that tells you something. And plus, he's a Russell, and he's from that area, that DMV area where they got great fighters, man. Gary Antoine Russell's a hell of a fighter, and so is his younger brother, Gary Antonio, who I think is fighting at 130. So, yeah, and I think that he might be, or no, is he fighting at 118? Gary Antonio might be at 118, and he's looking to be the mandatory for Monster Inoue. So I think you're going to see some real good things coming out of those Russell brothers pretty soon. They got a lot of talent, and he was taught to fight by Gary Russell. So, the apple don't fall far from the tree, and their father obviously made a great fighter out of Gary Russell Jr. So, I don't expect to see anything less out of either any of the other Russell, any of the rest of his sons that fight. Yeah, I don't want to say he beat Ennis. Yeah, I didn't want if you can beat Adrien Ennis in the amateurs. That tells you what kind of skill set you have. But I know where he's coming. I know where he's coming from. I know the program that trained him. And when like I said, Gary Russell Jr. is not just some really talented guy, right? Kind of like, say, for example, Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, and people don't talk about this with Deontay Wilder. The reason that Deontay Wilder wins is Deontay Wilder's overall talent. It's not just his right hand. It's his whole talent. He's got to get in position to land that. He also has to stay away from really big, heavy-hitting guys that don't find a way to land shots on him. It's like when the media talks about Deontay Wilder, they insult him so much because he doesn't fight just like their bum ass heavyweights fight. But they forget and they just want to overlook the fact that Deontay Wilder's knocking him out. That is a lot of talent, right? Now, his skill set is a skill set that is a good, solid skill set. He couldn't be there without a solid skill set. You know what I mean? So will he throw a wild punch every now and then? Yes, he'll throw a wild punch now, but his talent level is high. So Gary Russell Jr., though, you can watch him and you can tell that his talent level is very high, is very high, but you can also tell that his skill level is very high, and those skills can be taught. And that is what I'm believing that they taught his younger brothers, because he works with his younger brothers. I'm sure he spars with his younger brothers, all kind of stuff, man. Those dudes are serious business, man. Mr. said, what's up, Martin? Should Tyson Fury retire from boxing after these shenanigans he pulled against Deontay Wilder? He should be thrown out of boxing. And he should have been thrown out of boxing for what he did in that fight with Deontay Wilder. That's what should happen. If you find somebody cheated and that recklessly, if you saw somebody cheating that recklessly, why in the world wouldn't you go to the tape, look at it, and then punish the guy for it? But that's not how boxing works right now. So I really think Tyson Fury needs to be kicked out of the sport of boxing because he's reckless and he's recklessly endangers people's health. And if you don't believe he's too nice a guy to do it, you're in a catch-22 now. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Because, and I'm talking to you Fury liars that act like you believe Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, you don't believe that Tyson Fury he's too good of a guy. He's reckless. But if you don't believe it, now you know he's reckless because he's either a liar or he's reckless. He's running around. He said he's got COVID, but he's running around taking pictures, standing right up on top of people at car dealerships and having people right up there. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Yeah, Damon Smith, I saw the pictures. Absolutely, I saw the pictures and other ones. At what point can Fury face accountability after he ducks October? As soon as he tries to duck again, then they're going to go to civil court. They're going to go to civil court to enforce that, and they're going to enforce a injunction to prevent him from fighting anybody else, and to prevent the WBC from letting him fight anybody else. Deontay is the next best thing after Ali, after all this hatred has been through, but shouldn't Deontay order the arbitration judge to provide proof he has COVID? He's not in arbitration anymore. Can't order the judge to do anything? You can make a request of a judge to do something, but you can't order him, and he's no longer in arbitration. And what's he going to do? The guy says Tyson Fury will just fake the medical record. And then what are you going to do? Subpoena the doctor? You just be running. Look, trying to keep Tyson Fury from lying, you're just going to chase the man around and around and around and around and around and around and around. He has no qualms about lying. If he gets caught lying about this, he's just going to come up with another lie. So you're not going to get anything. I think it would be fruitless to say, okay, because they've already suspended. They already gave up the date. It's ridiculous, man. Manny is a legend. Fury is a fake. That's no joke about that. Manny Pacquiao definitely is a legend. And he deserves to be called that. And to the people that say Manny Pacquiao was on steroids, he very well may have been, but he was never caught. Until he's actually caught, I can't say that he was on. I believe he was. Let me put it this way. I ain't stupid. I believe that Manny Pacquiao was juicing, but since he never got caught, you really can't put that on his legacy because you don't know. You know what I mean? Hit me up with the questions, man. Isn't the easiest thing to do to prove you didn't cheat is to show the damn gloves? Absolutely, but he's not going to do that because he did cheat. There's no way for him to prove that he didn't cheat, because if he shows me gloves and squeezes them like these are the gloves, I'm not going to believe it because I already saw the gloves wrapped around his hand, you know? Oh, that's some stuff about power. I don't want Haney versus Russell fight other than money. Nothing to be gained for either guy. Russell is too small to win, and Haney would get trashed for beating up a little guy. Or most likely, what is happening is Devin Haney would win the fight, but go the distance because he's not going to beat up Gary Russell Jr. I don't see him beating up Gary Russell Jr. Devin Haney doesn't have a lot of power to beat somebody up. I mean, and at 140, I'm going to tell you, dude, for real, he just needs to get his man strength because he just doesn't have a lot of power, man. And he got stunned in that. What was the last fight that he had? When he tried to sit down on his punches more, I saw him get stunned, and that was a close call. That's a close call to get stunned like that. Do you think they will make Tyson show proof that he has COVID-19? No. I don't think so because don't nobody believe it. But it's too late. The ship sailed. Tyson Fury's the type of guy that believes in those type of lies because they're not going to do anything about it. If there's a situation, because that's the mentality of a criminal right there. For you to know what things you can get away with, that even if they catch you, it's not worth their time or effort to do anything about it. So Tyson Fury can cheat in a boxing match and literally, just like he did with Deontay Wilder, and know that it's not going to be worth the WBC's time to do anything about it. Because in order for them to do something about it, they've got to go and start creating problems with Top Rank. And Top Rank is a major promoter that is a major source of their income. It's a major company. It's a major customer of the WBC. And that's the way I think that you should look at the relationship between a sanctioning body and a promoter, is that the sanctioning body has customers, because the customers are the ones that pay the bills. Well, who pays the money to the sanctioning bodies to keep their lights on? It's the boxing promoters. So the more fighters that a boxing promoter has, the more fees that it's paying to the WBC, right? So in order to do something like revoke a championship or something like that, it's not in their interest. The only people that would do something, I do believe, is the IBF, because the IBF is far more straight shooting than the WBC or the WBA. Oh man, because I don't ask for likes, man. Make sure y'all hit the likes. Hold on, let me see. Give me 1 second. Do. All right, man. Hey, look, man, we got 400 people in the building, only 174 likes, man. Hit the like button, please. Okay, do you think that Tyson? Do you think they will make Tyson show proof that he is? Oh no, I'm on something else. Excuse me. Do you think Terence Crawford and Tank Davis are on a collision course, say around 2028? Hey man, where's that vodka, dog? Pass that vodka. It's early in the morning, dog, and you are definitely partying, Kenny Gats. You are definitely on something this morning with that one. In the year 2028, Terence Crawford will be retired, sitting in his mansion in Nebraska. God dog, in Omaha, Nebraska, getting ready to go down and train some kids. Okay, train some kids at the gym that him and Bo Max still have. That's what I think we'll see Terence Crawford at 2028, because that's 7 years from now. He ain't gonna be fighting. Gervonta Tank Davis 7 years from now will be leaning towards retirement. He would have never fought a black fighter. He's gonna be like, I've run out of Mexicans to fight. He would have already beaten every Mexican that is ranked at 135, 130, or 147, never having given us a decent fight. Because you can forget that Tank Davis giving us no way. Man, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is ruining that damn experience, man. Dog, will you get the fuck out of his life, please? Please, man, please. Please get out of there, Floyd. Please. Can we see some good fights? Can we see some good fights, please? Jeez, you promoters suck. I'm sorry, seriously, man. It is frustrating. Well, you guys suck, man. Will you please make some good fights and stop talking about all this shit about how you making money and this, that. Dude, make some good fucking fights, man. Your fights suck, dude. Seriously. Mario Barrios, who gives a fuck? I'm seriously, I can't even be politically correct no more. Who gives a fuck about Mario Barrios? Okay? Leo Santa Cruz, decent. Okay? Leo Santa Cruz, decent. Everybody else sucks, okay? Every other fight not named Leo Santa Cruz sucked. And I went to the Leo Santa Cruz fight. I paid for that. But will you please go away from Tank and let this dude fight some damn body? If he loses, people will watch again, man. Frequent Flyer said, back in the day, Tito Trinidad cheated against David Reed and ruined his career. Hopkins later caught it, exposed him, and knocked him out. Hey, that's what happens, man. Well, how did he cheat? His gloves were too hard? Hey, because God dog, he would knock you out. That left hook was something ugly. Yeah, he jacked up David Reed. David Reed already had a bad eye, though. Somebody had already jacked up David Reed before that fight, though. Because David Reed's eyes was all slumped down like that. I don't know if he could really see punches coming. I wouldn't be surprised if David Reed really was hiding the fact that he couldn't see. Do you think Fury Wilder will ever happen? Jeez, man, I'm 60-40 no. You know why? I would just say no. But that's how big a scumbag Tyson Fury is. Because the things that he's willing to do are so far past what anybody else thinks he will do that you are like, I don't know. It depends on whether or not he finds a good way to cheat or not. I mean, if he can find a way to get away with gloves that are jacked up, or if he can find a way to dope his water or something, or some new trick, I know that pump fake shit ain't gonna work because he ain't hitting him. He ain't gonna be able to hit him with his bare knuckles. Honestly, I think the biggest problem is that Tyson Fury's not gonna be able to hit Deontay Wilder with bare knuckles, with barely gloved knuckles. So that's gonna be tough because he's not gonna be able to hurt Deontay Wilder because Tyson Fury can't punch. This greatest fighter ever, I'm greater than you hear this bozo? I'm greater than Ali. Are you nuts, you scumbag? Are you nuts, you scumbag? Sitting on the ring and to a bum that's 4 inches shorter than you. Ali's only 6'4", and he was doing that to a guy that was 6'2", right there, and he was making a miss. And even then, get out of here. Ali before wouldn't sit and do that. That was when he was old and avoiding punches, trying to rest. Yeah. God, I hate this shit. Man, I'm telling you, Tyson Fury. I hate that shit with Tyson Fury, dude. I hate that shit with Tyson Fury, man. Because Tyson Fury is just completely ruined it, man. You're definitely right. Fury big scared. Yeah. He's looking at it, man. Hey, Samuel Vasquez, do you think Charlo and Arrow will fight each other if Arrow moves up? Or do you think Charlo would move up when Arrow does to avoid each other? I do not see. No, Ali was D Dukes. Ali was not 6'2". He was 6'3.5", standing barefoot. And he doesn't lie at that time. So in today's height, he's about 6'4.5". Ali was not 6'2". Muhammad Ali was 6'3.5". It's all you cats want to make everybody short. Ali was not short, dude. Ali is taller than big. Let me put it this way. Muhammad Ali is taller than the guy that knocked out Tyson Fury in sparring, Jared Anderson. Ali is 6'4", almost 6'4". But here's the thing. A true 6'3.5", which means you put shoes on him, he's 6'4". D Dukes, I don't have to look it up. Whatever, let me tell you something. Whoever told you, wherever you get that Muhammad Ali is 6'2", you're nuts, dude. Muhammad Ali was 6'3.5". I know how tall he is, dude. I'm not gonna have to do that. He's 6'3.5", dude. No way in the world is that man 6'2". Oh well, Ali could have beat him because he's only 6'2". That's you niggas, you motherfuckers lying about Ali's height. Muhammad Ali was 6'4". He was 6'3.5" barefoot, homie. And I don't have to look it up. I've seen it a million times. Matter of fact, I remember it because I saw Ali fight on television, and they would always say his height. At 6'3.5", Muhammad Ali is tall. Look at how much taller he is than Sonny Liston. You think Sonny Liston's 5'9" or something? Stop. Ali was tall, dude. A legit 6'3", and he was 6'3.5" with no shoes on. People don't do that anymore. Now they measure you with your shoes on, and they round up to make you look taller. Muhammad Ali was already taller. And so if he was fighting today, more than likely he would be listed at 6'5". 6'3.5". I know the exact measurements, man. Trust me. I've been a Muhammad Ali fan for 46 years. 46 years of being a Muhammad Ali fan, dude. I know exactly how tall that man was. Now, as he got older, he shrunk, but no, the dude was tall. Oh, that's because it's this attitude here. There you go. It's getting something. Was Sonny Liston as tough as they said he was? Your camera is getting blurry, by the way. Thank you. Absolutely, he was every bit as tough as they said he was, man. That dude was knocking the shit out of people. He's like, there you go. Damon Smith. Sonny Liston was 6'1.5" Ali was definitely 3 inches taller than him. Exactly. So there you go. Marlon Kazi says, Chi-Town Love. He's 6'3". Yep, he's listed as 6'3", but he's got that little half inch in there. Give him his half inch. But they don't do that. That's cool. I hope I didn't say nothing bad to you, Justin Hawkins. I wouldn't have responded too bad to you, Justin Hawkins. Okay. Yeah, I know that was for the troll. Nah, dude, they want to make him 6 foot tall so they can say, Anthony Joshua would have beaten Muhammad Ali. Anthony Joshua would get his ass whooped by Ali. The shit wouldn't even been a joke. His ass would have got tortured and knocked out. Dude, your UK heavyweights suck, dude. Okay? Let's get to this. Skinny Kenny said Ali was 6'3.5" with an 80-inch reach and was very, very mobile and athletic, even for a middleweight. Exactly. So please stop your nonsense about him being too small to fight with your muscle-bound Anthony Joshua, okay? And since that, my friend, is bigger than Jared Anderson, and Jared Anderson knocked Tyson Fury's ass out, do not think man, Muhammad Ali will beat the piss out of that dude, man. Dude, you know who would get him? Lennox Lewis. Let me tell you all the people that would beat Tyson Fury. Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, probably Jack Dempsey. Definitely Rocky Marciano. Probably Jack Dempsey. Definitely Rocky Marciano's going to knock that dude's ass out cold. Because Tyson Fury can't punch. So what exactly are you going to do to keep him out? Foreman. Hell yeah. Jack Johnson. Man, ain't that some shit. I think he can beat Butterbean. God dang, dog. But he's such a cheater. Who knows if he can beat Butterbean? Vitaly Klitschko, no doubt about it. Ernie Shaver's uppercut will kill that guy. Honestly, I think Anthony Joshua will beat Tyson Fury. And I don't think very highly of Anthony Joshua at all. But do remember this. Your Mr. Big Bad Anthony Joshua that was too big for Ali, and he's this, he's that, got knocked out by Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz. Tyson Fury went life or death with John McDermott and Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin is the same height as Muhammad Ali, and he opened his face up. Blah. What did Tyson Fury's face look like when he was fighting? He had to wear sunglasses because everything's all busted up, taking shots. Cats just catching up with him. He don't love the sport no more. That's what's gonna happen. It's just been so many setbacks that I can't get in the ring and Deontay Wilder and let Deontay Wilder kill me. I just can't let it happen. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to retire. And here's the thing about that retirement stuff. Dude, he's going to then do it, but then try to skip out on paying. And Tyson Fury, what goes around comes around, Mr. Fury. What goes around comes around. You better start treating people fairly, homie, because your career is coming towards the end. It's coming towards an end, and you out here lying. You out here pulling all kind of shenanigans. You may want to not do that, man. You may want to get right before you retire, dude, and be honest and say, yes, I cheated Deontay Wilder. Obviously, I cheated Deontay Wilder. I didn't want him to hurt me after the last fight. After the last fight, when he knocked him out, let me say, Fury struggles with people faster than them. Ben Davidson openly says it. Fury's old trend. Yeah, Fury is better now than he would have been then. What? I don't understand that last part. He struggles with people faster than him? Then what is he going to ever do with Ali? Because Muhammad Ali is so much faster than him. He can get two off before Tyson Fury can throw one. I can't wait for Deontay Wilder to jump straight through one of them feints. Like, for real. And just come in there launching. Bow. Straight through them feints. Like, just go at the dude and get him. He said even Joe Frazier would definitely, because that left hook was nasty. Ooh-wee. That left hook found home, man. Oh, for sure. Hey, yeah, Southern Teas, salute, bro. I'm subscribed to your show. Okay. Does Fury beat Dillian White? I don't know. They're both two con artists. Beat him at what? Making up stories? No. Dillian White, seriously, man. I want to take a shower talking about Dillian White. Like, what is with these UK heavyweights, man? James Farmer, man, thank you so much. Hey, make sure, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, and that way you'll know when we come on live. But thank you so much for your compliment, man. Mr. Nami said, would a cheater like Fury prefer to be in prison for cheating or go ahead with the trilogy? Whatever is going to get him to the next day. I think he's going to be good with whatever gets him to the next day. But look, man, I'm going to roll out of here a little early today. I got some stuff I got to get done. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. And with that, I'm out. Peace. I take that back. Got to do it. Hebrew Prince said, love your channel and your insight. Hope everyone and their families doing well. Everybody's doing well, man. Anan Azad said, UK boxers are trash. The whole world knows they don't produce exciting fighters. America is where it's at. We hold a high ground and we got the best of the best. Yeah, I absolutely believe that. But look, let me get up out of here. And with that, I'm out. Peace.